Hi there, today I'm going to show you a home network setup that I've got. I've been meaning to show this for a while, but I haven't had the time to get around to making the video, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do this now. So I wanted a fully wired house where every room had Ethernet connections and Coax connections as well for things like Sky or TV Ariels. So this is the solution I've come up with. So obviously I wanted the solution to take up minimum space as possible. So I did think about getting a cabinet to put a patch panel in and a server and things like that, but they're quite bulky, to be honest. And I wanted something that would just take up the minimal, like I say, amount of space. So this is what I've come up with as a solution. So very strange, my utility cupboard actually has a suspended ceiling, which is very useful indeed. So I bought a patch panel, so this particular one, 24 port, from eBay. I think it was around 10 or 12 pounds. And all the cables have been run into the rooms, and all the cables come from just above. If I can just show it there. So that connectivity connects all the rooms via this switch, this network switch, so 24 port switch here. Now I thought, as an idea, as I've got two coax cables in each room, I'd run an F-plug. I'd buy an F-plug patch panel. So that's what you're seeing there. So I've got some of the points connected up on there, not all. It wasn't a brilliant idea, to be honest, having it. I thought it'd be useful just to make things look tidy and sort of patch things in. So what I've done, I've got a quad LNB on my satellite dish, and those points actually go in just here, and then I'm just connecting it into the rooms via, literally, you could say a patch cable, if I can show it. So just like this. So these four are for the satellite, and it just connects to the rooms via this. As well as that, I've got this aerial splitter, and that'll split the signal into 6 rooms, so which is quite useful. So it was an okay idea having the F plug, but could have done without it, to be honest. No biggie. But there you go, that's that. And then we've got as with the aerial that I purchased, it came with this little thing here, and what that does, it's supposed to reduce interference on the actual aerial itself. Next we've got the 2 telephone sockets. So one's for Virgin Media, the other one's for BT. So I've got a splitter there, and I've patched in the telephones into a couple of rooms. So I've got a cordless system, cordless handsets, and what I did, I purchased some extension leads from the pound store. I cut the cables, and then what I did, I used a crimping tool to actually put a connector on there, and I crimped the other end the same way. So literally you buy your extension cable, and then you just cut it in half, crimp each end, you know, with a RJ45 jack like that, and then it provides the connectivity. Quite a nice cheap way of doing it. Okay, and then obviously we've got our TP link switch just there, and what was really useful, like I say, because it's a suspended ceiling, I actually managed to install it into the suspended ceiling, so that way it's all flush and didn't need a cabinet. So you see the amount of space it takes up, very minimal. Okay, and then I've got surge protector, and that supplies power to a number of different devices. I do have a server just here, which can be moved to any room, but for now it's just here. But quite pleased with it, reasonably tidy, and the fact that it just takes up the minimal amount of space, and we can utilize the rest of the utility area with other things rather than just a big bulky cabinet getting in the way. So that's that. Let me show you a couple of other areas of the home networking system I've got. Okay, so another area I wanted to show in the home network is the floor box I fitted just underneath the TV unit. So we have it just there. This way we don't have any cables going into any wall socket. So this hides quite a lot of things. So all we have really is this little extension unit. You don't have to have that, but I found it useful for the odd things you just want to plug in sometimes. So let me show what's in this floor box. Just move it out of the way. Obviously it can be slightly tidier, but it's useful just to get things out of the way. So you see cables all tied together. I'll take the floor box off if I can somehow. Push it a bit more. Okay. And what I've done with this floor box, I've actually built a frame around it. I did show it on a previous video, but I think I made it slightly more tidier as well, so you can put more things in there. So there you have the Virgin Media box. So that's not visible in the house. Actually, one thing I did forget to show is the utility cupboard also had the router in there as well, so I didn't want that visible in the living room either. So you've got the Virgin box there, and then the cable goes off to the utility area, and then you've got another box for aerial signals, or cable I should say. A bit tight in there, can be a bit more tidy like I say. And then we've got, if I can show it somehow, the Ethernet connections. So 4 there. So quite good. So what I've done, I've labelled each of these, and to give me the flexibility in case we want to move things around a little bit in the room. So I've put this in the middle because I've got a surround sound system here. But what I've also done, I've put some wall sockets in as well. So you've got aerial points here, and you've got Ethernet points there. But these all connect back to here as well. So you've got the flexibility. If we wanted to put a sofa there or something else there, we can just cover it back up again and then just use the cables there. And the way the Ethernet is connected, if I show you, is just via these cables there. So I've just put one and that little indicator to say that's the point on the Ethernet point just there. Also, all the speaker wires have been hidden as well. Okay, so here's the Ethernet points, and obviously it's quite a drop in there, the area itself. So you can shove a lot of cables in there if you want to hide them out of the way. And it's possible to actually drop the actual floor box as well, so you can get underneath the floor if you need to run any more cables. So I've run all the speaker cables, as you can see there, and I've done obviously these sort of face plates to hide it. So it wasn't too bad. I think a couple of pounds from eBay So also what I've done, I've got a subwoofer as well, and I've run the actual phono cable for that as well underneath the floor box, so that comes up as well. So everything's quite hidden. Okay, so here's another area, a wall where we've got a flat screen TV set up. So just there. And what we've done, if I can show this, we've got a large 2-gang box here, and we've got a massive conduit here, and the conduit's so large we could run a 3-pin plug if we wanted to. Now this box is actually ducting, and I think it's something like 10 centimeters wide by, I don't know, 4 or 5 centimeters deep. So I actually had a builder who removed the chimney in this area do this for me, and I didn't want the like AV stuff just below it, so I just wanted it at the side. So if you look here, it actually runs diagonally just from there to there, and just comes out here in this one. And then obviously you've got 4 cables here, Ethernet points, aerial speaker cable as well, all hidden underneath as well, and 2 power points. Now one thing I did have a go at, which is quite interesting, I wonder if I can show it somehow. So I've got an Ethernet cable, and I've cut it, and I've actually soldered connections, phono connections on there. And from these phono connections, I'm actually connecting 2 different amps up. So these are AV amplifiers. Okay, so here's the phono connector, and if I follow it through just there, here's where I've soldered and taped it up, and Ethernet connector, and that's what connects music in 2 rooms together. So do comment if it's of any value, if anyone wants to see how to create these cables. So if it is useful, I'll make another video just showing that. So there you go, very useful. You could connect all sorts of things. I actually did one many years ago connecting Ethernet to SCART, and the picture quality wasn't too bad, and you just patch it in at the other end, so very useful. And this is just the standard IKEA cupboard, and I've just cut a hole in the back so the cables can all pop out, so quite useful there. And the cable connects them in such a way that you can have multi-room. So this amp I have here, it's a slightly older amp, so it's not got the HDMI connectors or anything like that, but the interesting thing it has got, it's got the different zones, so A and B. So we've got A in this room and B in another room, and then if I go to our living room, we've got another amp here, and this actually provides sound for this room. So if I go around the back, very dusty, connect the 2 amps up. So you've literally got 3 zones where you can play music in. Pretty useful, really. Instead of a Wi-Fi Bluetooth connected, it's quite a cheap way of doing things. So there you go. I hope this video is giving people inspiration, any ideas they're thinking in their own home networking setup. Let me finish off just showing the patch panel and the network switch. Okay, here's the patch panel again. And I forgot to show this before. The actual Virgin router. So that's pointing inwards towards the house. So this is all hidden. The useful thing is, with all this, things around the house are much tidier. You don't see as many cables running. It's all hidden underneath the floor. So obviously we've got this. We've got the telephone points, the switch, reasonably cheaply done, to be honest. So I'd say the switch was about £70. I extended the telephone cables to be able to hide the boxes here. It's an extra sort of telephone cable straight from eBay. I don't think it was more than £5. And I think when Virgin came to do the box, I said don't attach it anywhere, just give me a long cable run. So I just hid that underneath the floor. I think I've already mentioned the patch panel was about £10 to £12. The F-plug panel was a similar, well, I think it was slightly more, maybe £15. And then you've got your actual aerial splitter. I think that was in the £20 region. And obviously a surge protector there as well. And there you go. Hope it helps anyone thinking of doing a similar sort of thing. Obviously the advantages is you get a very fast connection, unlike Wi-Fi, uninterrupted. Obviously with Wi-Fi you do get dropouts sometimes, you know, as you're moving around or whatever. But yeah, a dedicated fast connection. And again, if you've got Sky as well, useful to be able to just have TV in any room without having a portable aerial. There you go, thanks for viewing.